Hey, Kevin here with another Flippin' Dork Flips and Finds video where I show you different items I pick up really cheap, thrifting and garage selling, and then I sell them online either locally with eBay, with Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, or I put them on eBay for like a bigger worldwide audience if I want to ship them out. So anyway, today is Friday, and it's kind of the beginning of the weekend with some garage sales popping up, and usually Fridays are really good. I went out today and drove around for several hours, and it was a big dud. I mean, it was terrible. I went to a decent amount of sales, not as many as normal, but it was not like there was nothing out there. I went to, I don't know, a dozen of them, 15, something like that, and they were just terrible. I mean, there was just nothing good. There was no good local finds. There was not even stuff to put on eBay, not even bad stuff to put on eBay. It was just, I don't know, it was just terrible stuff. This is stuff you always want to pass over. They all had it. So I don't know what the deal was today. Maybe it's the weather because it's kind of rainy. I don't know. But anyway, I ended up finding one local item, and then I found two items to put on eBay. So let me show you the eBay items first. I spent a whopping 50 cents on both of them, okay? So this one right here, I paid 25 cents. This is a Radica Klondike solitaire game. It's model number 2320. I've never had this version before, but it's pretty cool. I like the nice colors, got the huge screen on there. This particular one is actually pretty dirty. I'm gonna have to clean it really well. And it's kind of showing its age a little bit. It's a little bit scuffed up in the back. The edge of the sticker is a little bit brown and peeling, just very slightly though. But it should clean up really nice. I looked it up, and these go for anywhere between maybe $15 and $20. I'll probably end up getting somewhere around maybe a $17.95, $18.95. I'll try to add shipping on top of that to see if I can get it, but we'll see. More than likely, I'll get about 20 out of it, somewhere around there. So for only paying 25 cents, I think that's a pretty good flip. And of course, it doesn't meet my $30 threshold I'm really trying to meet. But again, just like some of the slightly lower end calculators or like Walkmans or some other items like that, maybe remotes for stereo systems, they're so small and easy to ship out that it's an easy flip. You know, you spend like $1 or less and you can turn it into like $18. It's really hard to pass on those. So I like buying these. They do sell really well too. Like I said, I've never had this version, but I think it should do well. Okay, the other item I found, I also paid a quarter, and it's this. I found another mini Super Soaker keychain. This one's blue. The one I got last week was yellow and orange. This one's blue and neon yellow. It's a Super Soaker 100. I think that's what the other one was. And I think that is the original Super Soaker. It does work. We put water in there, tried it out. This one does have the cap, and the graphic is all there. The last one, the graphic was a little bit smeared off, and it was missing the cap. So I paid 25 cents. They were only asking 10 cents, but I gave them a quarter and told them to keep the change. You know, big spender here. And anyway, same thing. I looked it up, and it goes for anywhere between $10 and $15. This one's in pretty good shape, so I think I could get about 15 out of it. But what I want to do is combine it with the yellow one and sell them together and try to get more money in one shot and only have to ship them out one time. So I'll put them together. It'll be real easy to take pictures. They'll, hardly going to weigh anything, so I can put them in a bubble mailer and that's it. It'll be real easy to ship out. And anyway, I should be able to ask probably somewhere around $25 for them. I don't know if I can include shipping on top of that, or if I'd have to do free shipping, or maybe I could kind of get away with like a $22, $23.95 plus shipping, and I get a little more than 25, somewhere around there. But anyway, I thought that was pretty cool, and I don't know, I just like finding things like this. You know, it reminds me of being a kid, and when I put them together, I almost get my $30, and I'm less than $1 in them both together, so I thought that was pretty good. Okay, and then like I said, that was it. I mean, I didn't even find terrible stuff that would only make me $5 or $6. There was just nothing out there. I don't know what the deal was. Okay, so anyway, like I said, I found one local item to pick up. I drove around everywhere. The very first sale I went to mentioned furniture, so I made sure. I mean, it was the furthest yard sale away from where we live. I hit it up. I got there probably about 6 minutes after 7. And as I was walking up, I heard a lady say, "Yeah, we sold that one dresser." I was like, oh, the one good item I showed up, I thought I was early for, had already sold in like 5 minutes. So I looked around, they had another dresser, and they were asking way too much for its condition. It was a nice piece at one time, but it needed work. It was missing a handle. The drawers, when you pushed them in, they went in too far. They were missing like the stops. It was not in that great a condition, and they were asking way too much. It was almost maxed out on price. I asked them if they would consider going lower. They said no, they were firm, so I just passed on it and moved on. And then I went to several other yard sales, and I saw nothing at all, no good furniture, until the very last sale, and it was all like antiques. They knew what they had, and it was all way too expensive. So at one of the sales, I found a decent-ish item that I can flip locally, so let me show you what I found. Okay, so here is the local item I picked up. It is this little 2-drawer nightstand. The top's in pretty rough condition. It's got a big chip right here, but it is a Bassett, and for the most part, it's real wood, although I think this top is a veneer on maybe a plywood or something like that. But that's really the worst spot. The rest of it is all right, so that would be an easy fix. I figure I will sell it as like project grade, and it'd be really, really easy for someone to do like a chalk paint makeover on this, put on new handles, and it would look like a really, really nice piece. But I don't know, it's in decent shape. It was only $5, and because of its condition, I probably won't be able to get a whole lot out of it, but maybe somewhere around $20, $25. Who knows? I might even try asking $30 or $35 just to see what happens. But I don't know. That was the only thing I found that was worth picking up today. So it was just a really, really slow garage sale day. All right, so now it is Saturday, and the garage selling this morning was really good, way better than yesterday. A totally different story, even though it was going to rain. So before I show you everything I picked up, I want to let you know that someone is coming by to grab these water skis I got for free on the side of the road. I listed them locally for $15. I've had them for 3 or 4 weeks now. It's taken a while, but finally someone sees what I see in them. You know, it could be turned into a table or wall decor or a bench or a shelf or something like that. And anyway, they should be here in a few minutes to pick them up for $15. So once they come by, then I'll show you all the stuff I bought garage selling. All right, so the lady come by and bought the skis for $15. She was really happy with them. Her and her husband said they had a lake house and they were going to hang them on the wall and use them as decor, or maybe look for a project on Pinterest to use them, but they just wanted them. So anyway, that's pretty cool. Okay, so here are the local finds I picked up today while garage selling. So I got a dresser, got a vanity I'll show you in a minute, a really cool mid-century side table. It's gonna need a lot of work, but I think it's pretty cool. Then a pretty cool little dresser here. It's definitely project quality. Then this is the nicest chest I've found so far. And I found a telescope. So I'll start with this one. It's a Meade, which is okay-ish. It's not super great, but it's not too bad. 114 millimeter. I've actually been wanting to get a telescope to mess around with. And check it out, it still works. So that's pretty cool. It's got 2 eyepieces that are not in great condition, so who knows how well it really works. I'll have to mess around with it. But anyway, they were asking, I'm not even sure what that was originally, what does that say, $150? $100? Yeah, I think $100. Then they had it marked down to $30. By the time I showed up to this garage sale, it was raining. And the one thing I learned today is when the rain starts falling, so do the prices. They just wanted to get rid of it. They didn't want to put it back in their house. So they said, we'd make a deal on it. And I said, well, how much are you thinking? So I tried to get them to do the first price. And I said, well, it says 30 on there. And they said 20, and I said, would you take 15? Yeah, we'll take 15. So I got this thing for $15. And I'm gonna mess with it for a while and try to use it. I think it'd be kind of cool, but if I want to sell it, I figured I could flip it, real quick locally for like $50 or something like that. But I looked it up on eBay, and there's one that recently sold, and it went for $106 plus $28 shipping. So this was actually a really, really good find for $15. So it's pretty dirty. You can tell it was in their garage, so who knows how dusty it is, and if all the mirrors and all that are in good condition. So I'll have to mess around with it first, but I could still flip it for way more than the $15 I paid. Okay, this right here was from one of the first garage sales I went to this morning. And it's this maroon trunk. It's identical to a blue one I sold a while back, except this one is completely functioning. So the lock still works, it still has the key, and of course the little latches here still work, and it's in really good condition inside. Now it's not antique or anything, but I think it's still old enough to be considered vintage. It's probably, I don't know, 80s, maybe 90s, something like that. Anyway, they had $5 on there, and it was kind of the same thing. The lady's like, I don't want to take it back in. So I said, would you take 3? And she said, sure. So I got it for $3. Okay, this dresser right here is the very first thing I bought this morning, actually just right down the road. I got to a garage sale about 15 minutes before they opened this morning. I got there about 6:45, and I was just looking around real quick, and this was sitting there, and it's only 10 bucks. So I had to take it. You can tell it's a project dresser that they quit on. I guess it was a little above what they were wanting to do with it. The major problem with this one is the back is completely missing, which really doesn't affect function, but it might make someone get scared when they buy it, not realizing that it's really no big deal. But I mean, it is a project that will need work, but for the most part it's pretty smooth. 2 of the handles are broken, so they'll have to replace them, but for 10 bucks I think I could sell it real quick for probably, you know, 30 to 50 bucks, something like that. I'll probably, I don't know, 40 something probably. Okay, this thing right here, you can see they were only asking $5. I actually got it for $4 because I bundled it with something else they were asking $1 on, and I'm just going to keep it. It's a little book about cars. But anyway, this is pretty cool. Little mid-century side table, drops down, and then this slides out. Really, really cool piece. I don't see any maker's marks on it, but I mean, it's pretty legit. We got this here. I'll have to look into that. That's interesting. But you can tell it was really nice at one point, but now it's rough. But for $5, I could probably flip that for 45, something like that. Okay, these 2 right here I got at a really, really good garage sale. They also had a bunch of stuff I'll be able to put on eBay. So I guess I'll start with this because it's pretty basic. You can see it's only 10 bucks. Just a straightforward dresser. The drawers they're going to need to be waxed. Here we go. I guess that's the brand GB, the Lucky Line, or something like that. But anyway, for 10 bucks, that's a really good find. It's not too bad. It could easily be refinished or painted. So I think I could probably get 55, 60, 65 out of it. Who knows? Maybe even 75. I don't know. I'll try to see how much I can get. I do need to take, of course, the price tag, but then I will heat that up with a hair dryer and peel that sticker off. Okay, and then finally we have this right here. It was at the same sale. It was also $10. This is a vanity, so check this out. It's got the mirror built in. It's pretty cool. All these little compartments. Whoops, let me fix that real quick. There we go. And it also has 2 drawers on the side. It's actually in really nice shape. You know, like the wood and all that is in good condition, but the finish is not. It's like really stained up. Doesn't look too good. So I figure whoever gets it will probably paint it, but for 10 bucks I can get a lot of money out of that. I'll just assume 75, but maybe more, something like that. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and snap pictures of these, get them listed locally, and then I will show you what I got to throw on eBay. All right, so I got a bunch of stuff garage selling to put on eBay. This was a week where there was a lot of really cool vintage stuff that just, you know, got my attention, but a lot of it does not quite meet my $30 minimum I've been trying to set. But I think what I can do on several of these is bundle them together and then sell it in one shot and definitely get way more than my 30 bucks. I think I might do that on a few of them. So start here. So very first garage sale of the morning, besides the one that I went to and found that dresser without the back, but the when I went across town, I hit up a neighborhood garage sale, and anyway, I found this model. This is, I guess Lindbergh is the brand, I've never heard of it, but this is an American LaFrance 900 pumper fire engine. I just now realized that this is not the right box in the bottom. This is some old kid's shoe box from B.F. Goodrich, probably from the 60s or whatever, which could be kind of cool, but it's probably going to hurt the value of the model, although the model is unbuilt, so that's good, but you know, it's not the full box. So I looked these up. It's not really worth that much money. Basically, at that garage sale, I bought 4 models for $12, so I'm considering them $3 each. This one, they were selling about 15 to 20, but of course that was with the, you know, the original box. So this one, I don't know, maybe 15, but maybe more like 12 to 15, something like that. So not the greatest flip from $3, but that's okay, because some of these others are better. Okay, move that out of the way. Next one here is a Revel Battleship USS Pennsylvania. It's an old model. Same thing, it's unbuilt. I'll have to double check it, see if it's complete, but it looks like it is just from, you know, quickly looking at it. Same thing, it was $3, and this should sell about the same, about $10 to $15, something like that. Maybe I could put these together and sell them in one shot. We'll see what happens. Okay, the next one is really cool. All right, this is a monogram model, and it looks to be complete as well, although I have to double check. A lot of the parts are broken out of it, so I don't know. But I don't think it's built, but it could possibly be missing some parts. Oh wow, that's cool. Okay, it might not be complete because I see picture. Oh no, here we go. It does have the people. Okay. Okay. Anyway, this is really cool. It's a monogram garbage truck, but it's like a hot rod kind of Ed Roth style garbage truck. Okay, or maybe a George Barris style. So it's like hot rodded up with the surfboards, and then you got the 3 people in the back dancing with a guy playing guitar. I mean, how groovy 60s can you get? And those people are in here, so maybe it is complete. But man, this thing is really cool. It's got like Anson Sprint wheels on it and a blower sticking out of the hood and all that. So this thing is really cool. This was actually the very first thing I saw. It was the only thing sitting on the table, and there was no price. And I asked the guy, like, hey, how much is that? And he's like, hey, are you interested in models? I was like, yeah. He said, well, look what else I have. Then he pulled everything out, and then we worked out the deal for $12 for everything. So again, this is $3, and I think this will go for 20 plus. So, maybe with shipping, probably just under $30, something like that, maybe 25, somewhere around there. But this is pretty cool. All right, I kind of want to keep it, but I should just sell it. I don't have time to build it or anything. Okay, this one is awesome. This is, as soon as I saw this, I knew whatever he was asking, I had to buy all the models just so I could get this. I've never heard of this model brand, but it's Pyro, and it's the Serpent. Check that out. How cool is that? So it's kind of like a little tea bucket, like with the ooh, just dropped something. So it's like the little turtle shell trunk lid in the back, and you got the crazy looking front end, and then of course the seats that have the snake heads on there, cobra heads, one sticking up off the back. I mean, this thing is really wild looking. New and different, soft vinyl tires, and it's got a hot engine. Oh man, I'm dropping all kinds of parts. So anyway, okay, so this thing is awesome. So I got it for $3 as well. I didn't know value, but I looked this up. There is currently one listed, which I know doesn't mean anything, because you could list it for $1 or you could list it for $1,000. But the one currently listed makes me think that I hit a jackpot on this one. So the one currently on there right now is for $113.99 plus $8.75 shipping. So they are trying to get over $120 for this model, and there says it was just a few pieces short of being complete. So I probably should look through it, see if it is complete, grab the 2 little pieces I just dropped, make sure I don't lose them. And I mean, I probably won't get that, but maybe at a bare minimum like a $50 flip. But who knows, maybe I could get 100 or 75 or 80 or somewhere around there. But this thing is super cool. And this is, again, of all of them, this is the one I'd like to keep. I think that's really cool. I really just want the box. I don't really care about the model as much. But that thing is super cool. Okay, so before I left that little neighborhood garage sale, I kind of went through it real quick. Just kind of did a few drive-bys on a few of the houses. But one of the things I bought for myself was this box of Hot Wheels. And I showed up and just walked in. It didn't look like a very good sale until I saw this box. It was full of Hot Wheels. And when I looked at it, I was like, whoa, this is awesome. I've never ever seen anyone that collected Hot Wheels quite like I do. I'm not like a big time collector. I don't care about the special release editions that come out, and you got to have all of them from this year, and the ones with the messed up paint job and all that kind of, I don't care about any of that kind of stuff. I just like to collect cars that I think are interesting. It's mostly old cars and hot rods and a few other things. Like one of these up here is, the car from The Simpsons. But most of them are, 55 Chevys, and this one's kind of cool. It's a little hot rod bumper car. But most of them, are real cars. They're Mustangs and Camaros and 32 Fords and 55 Chevys and Chevelles and Rancheros and El Caminos, and just like a car show. Okay, so this box was absolutely full of all muscle cars. I've never seen a collection quite like that before. They were all in the pack except for some of them in the bottom. And I was looking through it. They were all muscle cars, a couple of hot rods, and then like 1 or 2 exotic cars, but none of the cheesy, race cars that look like dragons or shopping carts or that kind of stuff that the kids like. And the box said 75 cents each or 40 for the whole box. So I was looking at them, I was like, I don't need to buy these, but I want them really bad. I have no idea where I'm going to put them. I don't have any more room for them. So I was like, well, what kind of deal could you do in these if I just bought everything? I know the box says 40, but could you do better than that? And they said, yeah, we probably could. I was trying to get them to come up with the first price, and they didn't. So I was trying to also be fair to make the deal happen. So I said, well, how about 30 for everything? and they said sold. So I bet I could have got them cheaper, maybe 25, something like that. So I bought the entire box. When I brought them home, I counted them. There are 92 Hot Wheels in there. 60, just under 70 of them are in the package, and then there's a few that are opened up. So that is about 30 cents per Hot Wheel, something like that, which is really, really cheap. So that was pretty cool. And anyway, so I left there, and then I headed up about 30 miles north to where there's going to be several neighborhood garage sales. But on the way, about halfway, there's this little town I hit up every once in a while, and there was one garage sale there I saw on Facebook Marketplace. And for whatever reason, just because of the picture, I wanted to stop there. It looked pretty good. In their picture they posted, there was this dresser I wanted to check out. So anyway, I get to this property. It's in the middle of nowhere. They have a single car wide winding driveway, probably a half-mile long, and they had all kinds of cars there, and you'd have to like pull into the grass so the other car could pass you. They were really busy. And anyway, I showed up. Real nice house. They got this huge pond in the front yard, just in the middle of the country. And then they had one of those metal building shed type things in their backyard. Huge, really, really big building. And I walk in, and it is full of amazing stuff. It was the best garage sale I've been to in a long time. And I tried to buy the best stuff I could look up. At the time, I only had a little bit of time that I had to head up, another 15 miles or so to where I was really going. But so I saw that dresser. I think I just showed it to you outside. It was 10 bucks. I grabbed it. I also grabbed that vanity. It was 10 bucks. And then they also had, I don't think I showed it. I might grab it here in a minute, but I bought a Sinclair Dinosaur sign. Pretty big size. It was only $1.50. We're going to keep that. And then I found some games and some Star Trek stuff there. Okay, now they also had all kinds of stuff. They had a huge pile of cassette recorders, a huge pile of two-piece Sony cassette tapes, which probably could have made a ton of money off of those if I really wanted to part them out. And then they had all kinds of other stuff. They had old vintage war medals and I don't know, all kinds of stuff. It was a really interesting sale. Apparently one of their family members had died, and they were a collector, and they knew this stuff would be worth money one day, but they died before they could ever like sell it off. So the family was just trying to kind of unload it and get some money back. And they were way undervalued on stuff, so I got some really, really good deals. Okay, so let me kind of go through these real quick. First one over here. Like I said, they had a lot of Star Trek stuff, and this one is that the Enterprise? I'm not even sure. I'll have to clean it up a little bit, but it's still in the box. It's an alarm clock. They told me it's never been out of the box. They were asking 10 on it. I was trying to get a better deal. I was hoping to get it for 5. They wouldn't budge. I got them down to $8, and it's going to be okay. I looked it up, and it's worth about 20 to 25 plus shipping, so it's not going to be this amazing flip, but it'd be all right. It's dated 1994. All right, so then I also got this. This is the Star Trek Classic Communicator. This little thing right here, same thing, 1994 from Playmates. I think that's the same brand that made Ninja Turtle stuff back in the day. It says it's Collector's Series Edition. Usually anything that says Collector's Edition is not collectible. This does have some value. This was only $2, and I looked it up. It's worth about 25 to maybe even 30 plus shipping. Looks like it was $12.99 when it was new back then. So that's pretty cool. So we'll say 25. I could probably get it. The box is in pretty decent shape. All right, next one is, let's see, this one. The Star Trek Next Generation Type 1 Phaser. Same thing. It was $9.99 when it was new back in the day, but this one is worth about 25 plus, so 25 to 30 plus shipping, somewhere around there. Same thing. I think it's 1994, made by Playmates. Pretty cool. Okay, they also had this. Star Trek Generations Klingon Disruptor, little gun blaster looking thing. This one is not quite as valuable. It's probably like 15 to 20, somewhere around there plus shipping. And all three of them were only $2 each, so they had them way undervalued. But I think what I'm going to do to get a better deal is I will just bundle them all together. Someone out there will probably want them. I could put all 4 pieces together. So that's what, a 25, 25, 25, and a 20. So what is that, like $95? So if I put them all together, maybe I could sell them for about 100, 110, something like that, plus shipping, and just sell them all in one big lot. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do, at least at first. If nothing really happens, then I'll divide them up and sell them separately. Okay, so then oh no, I take it back. I got one more thing from that sale, which was really, actually really cool. Just the graphics, the age of it made me want to buy it. This is the Epic Playthings brand Torpedo game. I looked into it. It appears to be complete, but I'll have to double check. Pretty good condition as well. It was only $2, and there was one completed on eBay. I'm trying to remember what it was, but there are several others listed currently, and they are trying to ask $79.99 plus shipping. Those have not sold, but the one that did sell, it went for, I think, 50 something. So this is probably a 50 plus game. Maybe I could go $49.95 plus shipping and just, you know, turn and burn it. Maybe I could try to get about 60 out of it, something like that. But that's really cool. But I do need to double check that it's all there. If it's not, it will probably devalue a little bit. But for $2, I could probably turn it into an easy 40 or 50 bucks. That is really cool. Okay, so that was an awesome sale. I'll have to show you that dinosaur here real quick. And then I went up to, you know, the extra 15-mile drive, whatever, to where all the neighborhood yard sales was. And it started to kind of sprinkle and rain, so they were not too good, but I got some pretty good deals on what I found. So let me show those to you next. Okay, so hopefully the background noise isn't too annoying. The neighbors cut down a tree and now they're running it through one of those big wood chippers. So it's really loud. Okay, here's that dinosaur I found. Check out how big this thing is. Really big. You could imagine this was on a Sinclair building somewhere. Had the hangers in the back. It's plastic. It's a little bit broken, but that's okay. I'm not like I don't care about collecting perfect things. For $1.50, this thing's really cool. I need your help though. We're trying to think of a really cool name for this dinosaur. We're going to hang it on the wall in our house somewhere, and we haven't come up with a good name. We're kind of thinking of an old man name, so something a little bit outdated, kind of fits with the era of this. So, you know, think like a Daryl or a Lenny or a Oscar or something like that. So if we think of a really good name, we'll keep it. But I thought that was really cool for $1.50. Can't beat that. Okay, so like I said, I drove the extra 15 miles or whatever and headed up to the neighborhood garage sales. But it was starting to rain, and they were not that good. There were so many, but they were also spread apart. By the time you drove to them, I don't know, they kept dwindling and dwindling. There's less people out, so I was getting better deals. Like that telescope I found, apparently in the morning, they were trying to get like $100, and they marked it down to 30, and then I was able to buy it for 15. So it was pretty good for that, but then, I don't know, a lot of them are starting to close up by the time you get to them. Okay, so the very first sale I went to, they had a couple of games here, so I thought I'd pick them up. First one I got is for the Wii. It's called Bully Scholarship Edition. And what I thought was interesting about this was a little tip I picked up, where games for Wii that are usually worth a little more money, worth picking up, are not the kid type of games. So it's not the cartoony stuff. I mean, I guess Mario is going to do well, but the Wii games are very like kid type games. And this one does not seem that way at all. It's Bully. So if you find, you know, battle games and shooters and things like this, and you know, things like this. But this one is, I don't know if you are the bully or you're fighting a bully or what, I don't know, but it's a very strange game. And it was only $1. I looked it up. It's really not that great of a flip, but I thought it'd be kind of cool just to pick up. It's worth about $10. I'll see if I can get a little more out of it, because it is in really nice shape. It's totally complete, but I don't know, just seemed kind of interesting. Okay, the other two they had, I think, are going to be a little better. These are for the GameCube, which is really cool. That's the main reason I picked them up. They're probably not, well, this one is probably pretty good. This one's just kind of okay. The main problem, though, is that these were both rental games, so that might devalue them a little bit. So the comps I found on eBay might be a little higher than where these go. But the first one here is Wario World. Excuse me, Wario World for the GameCube. I looked into the backs of the discs. They do have a few scratches, so hopefully they're still in working condition. But anyway, this one was $2, and it's worth about $20. That seems to be about where they're going, you know, 20, 22, something like that. So because this one was a rental, it might end up being more like, you know, 16, 17, 18, maybe just a little bit less, but we'll see. Who knows, maybe it's just there's not enough out there, so someone will still pay good money for it. Okay, this one is Crash Bandicoot, but it's kind of a knockoff of Mario Kart, I think. It's called Crash Nitro Kart for the GameCube. Same thing. The disc is in there. It was a rental, just a couple of scratches on the back, so hopefully it's okay. It was also $2. This one's worth a little bit less money. This is about maybe 10, 15, so this one's probably just under 20. This one's probably just under 15. But I don't know. I just thought I'd grab them. They, you know, games are easy to send out. I want to see if they're kind of like calculators and Walkmans and things like that, where they sell so easy that it's hard to pass up on them. So I'm gonna give them a shot. Okay. What was the next thing? Okay, these were interesting. So I went to the yard sale where I got the telescope, and they also had some vintage game boards. So I wanted to check them out. They were only 50 cents each. And I just grabbed them because they have really cool graphics. So this one was Milton Bradley's Easy Money, but just really cool coloring on there. And I think for some reason Easy Money sounded familiar. So just the game board itself, like I said, it was 50 cents at the sale. I looked this up. There was none of these that had actually sold, but people were selling the game for more than $10, so I think just the board game I could probably get about $10. Okay, the other one I got is even better. This is Pollyanna, the Glad game. Okay, check out the really cool graphics on this. Okay, this one's super cool. Got the like Victorian looking people on there and all that. And I looked this up and I was surprised. This does have value. There was one that sold just the game board, and it sold for $10 plus $10 shipping. So I could probably ask $10 to $15 plus shipping just on this one. And I bought this from someone. They apparently are like a Pollyanna game freak. They said they had every version of it and they're really good at it. They beat everyone that they play. So I guess they probably are the type of person that buys this on eBay to complete their collection, and they sold off the one that was a little rough for a nicer one. But anyway, so like I said, they might be worth about 10. This one could be 15 each, but that's just people selling them as, you know, game boards. But I remember seeing people turning these into like clocks or wall decoration and things like that. So I might be able to use that as some of my keywords and get buyers out there that are more crafty and kind of hipstery minded that would want these for something like that, and maybe get a little more money. Maybe I could get 15 or 20 instead of 10 or 15. So I thought those were pretty cool. Okay, so then I left there and I drove by several other sales. I wasn't finding anything good. There was one guy that had a ton of vacuum cleaners. There was a bunch of Dysons and all that. He was only asking $20 each. It made me wonder, you know, kind of question why they were only 20 each. But I don't know. I almost considered buying a bunch of them, see if I could flip them for, you know, 50. You know, spend 20, make 50, and do it, you know, 5-6 times. That's pretty good money off of that. But I decided to pass just because I wasn't sure I trusted where he got them from. Okay, so then I found another sale, and I found this. This is a climber manual. I think it's a brand of repair manuals for motorcycles. This is for the Yamaha V-Star 1100 from 1999 to 2009. It's just a big repair manual. I don't think I had this exact one, but I have sold a motorcycle repair book in the past and it went for really good money. I have all of those Haynes manuals right now. They're selling, you know, 10, 15, maybe almost $20. These are worth more. It was $2, but they said everything is half price, so I got it for $1. I looked it up. They're selling around $27.95 to about 30 bucks. So I think I could probably ask somewhere around 30 plus shipping and get it. So that's a really, really good turnaround for $1. Okay, the last two things is over here. I got a pair of boots at the sale, and it comes with a matching belt, except it doesn't have the little belt buckle. That's pretty cool. And what caught my attention was all of this right here, all the little bumps. I believe this is ostrich leather. Okay, got the really pointy toes. They're in pretty good condition. They've been worn, but they are not bad at all. They were a good size. If I remember, they're size 9, I think. Let me look here. Yes, size 9. Made in Mexico. The brand is Lamasini, L-A-M-A-S-I-N-I. So Lamasini boots. And the guy said that he was from Mexico and he bought these in Mexico and then brought them here. And he was telling me, yeah, they're real, they're real. So, you know, I think he was trying to say they were real ostrich leather, but he couldn't think of the word ostrich. But anyway, I thought these were pretty cool. He was asking 25 on them, I think. I asked if he could do better. He said 20. I said, would you do 15? No. I'll take 20. So I gave him 20 bucks for them. I looked them up. I don't think I found an exact match, but the ones that had sold were going around $60 to maybe $80. So I think I could get that. If it's 80, that's probably with free shipping. So more than likely, they're probably about like a $60 to maybe $70 plus shipping, somewhere around there. Okay, and then the last thing I found, the very last sale I went to, it was raining pretty good by the time I went here. The lady was putting stuff away, and I was looking around. I was like, oh, man, this is a bummer. You know, it's raining. People are quitting their garage sales, and there's nothing good here at all. And then I see this hanging on a rack, and it had a sticker that said $5. I was like, whoa, okay, this is a Levi's jacket, the 57511. It's an extra large, good size. Really nice dark blue, a little more modern, contemporary looking compared to a lot of them I buy. It's a little bit thinner one too, which would be good for like spring and fall. And I was like, $5, that's a good deal. I've sold these before, and I get like almost 70 bucks out of them. So I wanted to make sure that it did say 5 because it was written a little weird. I didn't know if it was a 5 or 8. I said, is that a 5 on there? She said, yeah, but I'll just take $1 for it. So, and it said new. She said, yeah, it's never been worn. So I got what I believe is a brand new Levi's trucker denim jacket, really dark blue, really cool looking, for $1. And I probably won't sell it now. I think it's a terrible time to sell it. I will probably hold off until the fall and then list it. I probably will get somewhere around $50 to $70 out of it. So we'll say 50 to 60 to be safe, somewhere around there. So that's going to be a really, really good turnaround for $1. So anyway, that was it for all of the eBay finds from garage selling. Now I did have a couple of eBay sales as well, so let me show them to you real quick. Okay, so as far as eBay sales go, I had 3 pretty good ones. So the first one here is kind of pre-boxed up already. You can't really see it because I got it bubble wrapped, so I'll just show a picture. But this is a Bearcat scanner. I got it at Goodwill, kind of a vintage scanner. I paid $6 for it. I had it listed for $34.95 plus shipping, and it sold. So it went for $34.95 plus $14.50 or $14.15 shipping. So I believe that's a total of $49.10, and I only paid $6. So I almost make my $30 after fees and all that. I'll probably make like $24, $25 on it. So that's pretty good. Okay, the next one. I just showed this, I think, in the last video. I picked this up the other day at Salvation Army. Again, I have it wrapped, bubble wrapped, so you can't see it. But this is that Sony Walkman. It was in pretty good condition. Just a couple of the numbers for the AM dial were a little worn off, but everything else was fine. It worked great. It sounded awesome. I got it for $1, and it sold for $17.95 plus $5.15 shipping. So that's a total of $23.10, and I only paid $1. So it's kind of like calculators and remote controls. They don't really go for the 30, but they tend to go quick, especially if they're in good condition. You can get them so cheap, they're easy to send out, so I still pick them up. Okay, the last thing I sold is this right here. Nice little tiny package. So this I bought a few weeks ago, and it is this right here, that Olympus voice recorder. Okay, so this is the Olympus DS30, and I checked it out. It does work. It's a little bit older recorder, but it was in good condition and still had the case. They also had the cord. They were asking $10, which I thought was, I mean, if I was buying it to use, it's a great price, but to resell it was a little high. And I was trying to get a better deal. I was hoping to get it for $5, and she wouldn't budge. I got her down to $9, so I saved $1 off the price. So I bought it for $9, and I ended up selling it for $42.95 plus $3.75 shipping. So that is a total of $46.70 for this little tiny voice recorder. So that's pretty cool. So these bigger, nicer sales are starting to happen. I still have a lot of stuff. I'm still figuring out pricing, if I need to do the free shipping or if I want to add shipping, if I want to do best offers. I'm still figuring out what works best for me, but they seem to be selling pretty decently now. I wish more of them were selling though. But anyway, that is it for the flips and finds of the weekend. It's probably kind of a long video, so I'll just end it here. So if you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment of what you think, and then go ahead and subscribe, and then click that bell icon to keep up with more of these videos. So thanks for checking it out.